Hello and welcome to Enquire to Choir. My name is Eva and I'm here to help you, fellow choir people. Today is a different video than some of the videos I've done here before. It's not as technical as all of the other videos, but I think it's very important. If I learned anything from doing this channel, I realized that choir directors and choir conductors are by themselves most of the time. Doesn't matter how big the choir is, doesn't matter how many people are in the choir leadership. What choir directors and choir conductors are going through is unique. And by definition, we stand there alone. Everybody sees us and everybody expects something. Every decision we have made for that performance can be food for criticism. How to handle this and how to go about it and how not to lose your mind. This is why I wanted to do this video. If you have ever asked someone or if you have ever Googled how to handle criticism, most of the people just say, oh, ignore them, or don't listen to them, or oh, what do they know? In the choir field, actually some people really do know what they're talking about. I won't tell you, don't listen to the criticism. First of all, sometimes you don't have a choice. Every performance is actually exposing the choir and yourself and all the decisions you have made for that performance to the audience. And in the audience, there are people who know their stuff, and often there are people who are there to critique the choir and tell you everything about the performance. Sometimes you want to hear that criticism, and many times you do not. But the sad fact of this job is you get critiqued all the time, and I think it's very unrealistic to run away from it. The other thing I am often told is, oh, don't care about it. That's also very unrealistic. First of all, I care. I care about what other people think of me. I care about what my choir thinks of me. As choir directors, choir conductors, choir leaders, I think we are supposed to care what other people think. That is the position we took on when we took the job. I care a lot about everything, but there are people and opinions I care more than the other. Harsh truth. You are talked about all the time. All the time. We talk about our leaders all the time. Whether it's in politics, whether it's our teachers, everybody has a different view of you when you're standing in front of them. Everybody has an opinion. I went through a phase where I didn't want to listen to any opinions. I was just doing my job and I was like, I don't read anything, I don't think about anything, I don't want to listen to any critique. What I realized is, first of all, you can't run away. And the second thing I realized is because everyone has an opinion, every person has a different opinion. And when you listen to as many opinions as you can, you realize that some of the opinions are literally even you as the most vulnerable person in that whole story can realize that it's invalid. Sometimes people critique just because they can. Sometimes people critique just because they want to feel better about themselves. I listen to every critique, but the way I go about it now is whether that person has been in my shoes at any point in their life. Do they know what they're talking about? Are they constructive? Constructive criticism is something I will take gladly, even if I don't agree with it, but I will take it because you only grow from constructive criticism. If you watched my How to Win a Choir Competition vlog, I talked about a lot of criticism I got, and with some of them I agreed with some of them I didn't. It really matters to me who is telling me the criticism. But if somebody is more knowledgeable, I will listen to them and then I will decide whether I agree. Just because a person is more knowledgeable than you are, it doesn't mean they're right. As a choir director, you have to be confident in your position. You are a leader. It's not the same when you get the criticism as a solo performer. When you get critiqued and your choir gets critiqued and you have to stand in front of your choir and say, yeah, they actually said that. The problem with that is you are exposed and vulnerable and guilty if the critique is bad. You can take a little power back from the vulnerability you're feeling and actually decide whether you agree with something or you disagree. Everybody has an opinion. Some opinions are more valuable than other opinions. Some opinions you have waited all your life for, and then they hurt. If a certain critique really hurts you, don't react immediately. We are people, we have emotions, we are vain, we are sometimes fragile. So if you're particularly hurt by some harsh criticism you got, maybe they're right, maybe they are not. Maybe the harsh criticism is really not that harsh. Maybe it hurts the most because it's actually the truth. So the criticism you get, you hear it, you listen to it, you process it, and then you decide what to do with it. But know that you are not obliged to agree with every criticism you get. That said, you have the responsibility to know what you're doing. So work on your craft. The best way to gain confidence as a choir conductor or director is to know what you're doing. And the best thing I can tell you, if somebody from the choir is questioning your decision, you can tell them this: it's my decision. And I came to that decision because all of the knowledge I have. The whole perspective shifted for me when I heard this sentence. The more responsibility you have, the more authority you have. That should be proportional. So if somebody from the choir is telling you something, do they have the responsibility you have? No. Do they have the authority you have? No. So you can listen to them, what they have to say to you. You can process it, you can react to it. You can think about it and you can react to it. You can decide if you agree or disagree, but it's still your decision. Don't be scared of taking on opinions, criticism. You realize that the whole spectrum of opinions can be surprising. For example, a few months ago, I put out this really crazy arrangement of a very popular song. 95% of people were amazed. But two people very dear to me, one of them said, that was actually really boring. The second person told me, I thought it was very confusing. I really don't know what you were trying to do. That hurt. Those two opinions I remember more than any other opinion. But I realized that, first of all, that is their opinion. I respect them and I can agree with them. I can't agree with the fact that maybe they found it boring. But I don't think it's boring. It's a difference of opinions. When it comes to all the criticism I ever got, I didn't handle it very well. I was younger. I really thought that I should make everyone happy, and it took me a long time to realize that I can't. You decide what you want to do. You decide where you want to take your choir. You think about that with a great responsibility and you take care of them. But you are a person in a position where you're surrounded by everyone. Only you know what you're going through. Only you can decide whether the criticism you got is valid or not. That said, sometimes you're very wrong, but mistakes happen, and it's not a problem to make mistakes. It's the way you go about them when they happen. I'm not afraid to admit to my choir that sometimes I made a mistake. I've been in a position where I have written the start of a choral arrangement and we did the first page, and then I realized, oh my god, this is really bad. So I said to them, listen, this arrangement is very bad. I want to be the responsible one and say now, before we have learned the whole piece, that that is a bad arrangement. I have to change it. They respected my opinion and they took my opinion. They later realized that I was right. So if you make mistakes or if you're headed the wrong way, don't be afraid to admit that. But it's the way you go about it. If you make a decision, the responsibility is here. And if you made a bad decision, try to make a better one the next time. Okay, hashtag rant over. I think it's time to end this video. I hope this video helped you if you're handling something harsh these past few days and you're worried. It's okay. Everything will be okay. Remember that even if you are alone on that stage, you are not alone. We have this channel and we have this group of people. That sounded really cheesy, but it's actually true. If you wish to see some other videos about choir directors, choir conductors, mental health, there are a few other videos here. How not to be a jealous conductor is a video I really recommend watching because I think it shifts your perspective because it's a very competitive job. We often get jealous of other choir conductors, and I don't think that's the best way to go. Other videos you can watch are how to handle stress as a choir conductor and how to gain your choir's trust. I will make a playlist so you can check it down below. Conduct well, conductors, and I'll see you next time. Bye!